Gentlemen in the mix.
Hello, traders. Welcome to the stream. It's Monday, and I have a brand new microphone, a new amp, everything. So we're just going to have to be doing audio checks like immediately right now. So just go ahead and do your worst or best, whatever, do an assessment. Because I can't, I tried to make it to where I could hear myself. I couldn't do it. It wasn't working. So I'm beholden to y'all. Hopefully it's good, but yeah, I have no clue what this sounds like right now. I mean, if it doesn't sound amazing, what a waste of money, mother of God. Okay, so it's better than yesterday. Yeah, I mean, music should be really quiet, like almost, you can't hear it, inaudible. Okay, quality is good. All right, fantastic. Yeah, dude, let's zoom in a little more. Okay, all right. Yeah, so here is, I guess starting the stream with Bitcoin here. What a freaking day, man. I mean, we made it all the way up to the 200 simple moving average. Getting adjusted here. These setups in here are a little more complicated than just going live in the office, so just be empathetic of that. But yeah, the 200-day simple moving average tested as we had tested it the same way April 2nd before rejecting it and then nuking to our lowest lows of 2025. At the same time of testing that 200 moving average, you're testing like overhead resistance from late March, early April. I mean, that is a level that must be broken, and we haven't. We've just tested it as resistance again. So in terms of trend analysis, no higher highs yet still, no higher lows. That's okay, though, because I'll take a day like this where Bitcoin's only up $2,000 any day over what we saw in equities, where we know, I mean, it's got to be in the 90 percentile, 80, 90 percentile, where if equities are dumping with volatility index rapidly increasing, Bitcoin gets hit just like NVIDIA, just like Microsoft, just like the others. So yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, we got what, 88.5, fantastic. And when Bitcoin sold off, altcoins kind of puked, and then my alert starts going off for Bitcoin dominance, and Bitcoin dominance took out the flash crash wick high today. Definitely needs to be seen. Oh, let me pull up the 4-hour on this chart so you can see it here. Yeah, just an impulse up, broke some sideways consolidation after the breakout of that supply line. Goes back to the inauguration day, January 20th. It's great, but it's just one thing that needs to be done, and we now need to make higher highs for once. Okay, Bitcoin dominance, though. I'm trying to pull up the... give me one sec. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance. Wow, as I'm speaking to you, it's at the highs of the day right now. And as I'm speaking to you, it is currently trading at its highest level since February 22nd, 2021. It's getting melty up in here. I'll say Bitcoin dominance pretty much acting as gold is in its ascension. And this is just humble beginnings. Was looking back at it. December 2022, Wyckoff accumulation spring back test occurred. There was a chart on it, and little do we know, I mean, 40%, and now it's 64.43% with not really anything in the way till pretty much 70%. Nothing new about that. Once you break 60%, we're off. And so it's just still hard to trust altcoins in this market. It really just is. I mean, maybe you can trust Bitcoin, but altcoins, I mean, Bitcoin pulled back, and they will just kind of lost all their gains and started going negative on the day. So, and this chart right here is kind of really telling. See that wick high, February 3rd? Oh, it's doing the thing again. So annoying. kind of have a fix for it, but not really. Hotkey on my stream deck. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance up almost 1% today. Multi-year highs. Pumping, man. You go to Ethereum. This is what I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, Bitcoin is up over 2% right now as I'm speaking to you. Well, certainly that has to be good for Ethereum, right? The second largest crypto in the entire world. If we look, we can see you're near the lows of the day. In fact, you're going for the lowest daily candle close since April 11th. On a day like this, and Bitcoin's making its highest price, technically made its highest price, if we are really, really scaled in and precise about this, it was the highest price Bitcoin had seen since March 25th. And this is what Ethereum's doing. That's what I'm saying. Like, trusting altcoins right now is, it's almost like Bitcoin decoupled from equities, and then other cryptos like Ethereum have stayed synced up with the equities selling off today. It's kind of what we talked about. It's pretty much kind of we're in this unprecedented time. The monetary world order is changing, shifting. I mean, the United States has virtually stopped trading with China completely, vice versa. There's going to be, a lot of pain for stocks in the coming quarters, especially when you start being able to see the realization of lack of trade between the two largest GDP countries in the world. So equities are probably going to continue down lower. If hey, we catch some rallies soon, that's great, but later in the year it could be really bad. I mean, so Ethereum kind of acting like it's a stock, not Bitcoin, not a crypto. I mean, Bitcoin, you could say Bitcoin's a crypto, but Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Everything else is crypto. So this is just should be doing all right, and it's not. Pathetic, like just trash. And then what do we see today? As we see almost every single day now, they stall out for a couple days. Ethereum paired against Bitcoin. What happened? Anyone know? What's up, Chicken Biscuits? Thanks for the $5 super chat, man. Much love. Thanks for being here. Well, here you go. 1.8 million Satoshis. If you look left, you could understand and realize that that is the lowest level we have seen on Ethereum paired against Bitcoin since January 14, 2020, going for your lowest candle close is January 13, 2020. I mean, you're finally starting to hit maybe a level, 17 or 1.75 million sats. But dude, beyond that, I mean, there's just not much here. It's kind of crazy. It's really bad. This is like just obliteration.
Can we take a look at Casper? Thank you.
Hey, Chicken Biscuits, man. You want some Casper? Yeah, we can. Remember, it hit the first target of trade setup, and then it bounced pretty well off that target, and now its most recent event's a lower low. So it's not like working on a trend reversal of any sort right now, but we'll look at it. Thank you, dude. Okay. Man, I wish I knew how this sounded. I mean, I hope it's like really good. It should be like legit better marginally. I mean, maybe slightly better than even the Office, the Battle Station's microphone. This is like an upgraded version of it. So anyway, get wrecked Ethereum, Vitalik. Maybe you should start taking creatine or something. Okay. XRP. Yeah, kind of controversial supply line here. Trying to anchor from the top. And then, the anchor point to reconfirm it in March. And then more tests, just past week. You're like kind of trying to break a supply line, but not yet. What's cool about it is, maybe we're just early, but since recapturing the level and even reconfirming it immediately, April 10th, the support became support again. Sellers have not been able to, even in this macro environment, which is crazy, they have not been able to put XRP back at 196, 190 for a test again. And you just got to wonder, is that a sign of strength or... Yeah, kind of with the trend not being great right now, it's probably best to just relax and let's see what kind of impulse we get here, because optimum risk management, if you really wanted a long, would probably be 190, 196 for a test, the 200 moving average there. But if they're not able to test that, then shoot, you know, probably going way higher. I just, again, man, Bitcoin dominance rising and altcoins aren't really performing well. They're just not. Bitcoin is in its own world. Like, you know how everything's homogenous, a rising tide lifts all ships? That's not happening right now in crypto. We're getting like, Bitcoin's doing well. And then, you know, the altcoins are kind of like not crashing, not marking down, you know, resoundingly, but they're kind of just not catching many bids. I mean, XRP on a day with Bitcoin being up 2.5%, you know, some of these smaller coins would be up like 5% in days of old, right? All the time. Yeah, man. But like now, that's not happening really. So it's just very interesting shift in a dynamic that we have seen for many years. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if it's like, maybe this really is a paradigm shift. You know, maybe it's the no counterparty risk on Bitcoin, that aspect of it is making people flock to it. I know, like, what, BlackRock bought like $84 million worth of Bitcoin today or something? It's pretty crazy. So altcoin's not catching love like Bitcoin, and I kind of get it. Like Solana had been catching bids, but man, like, just, you know, all we had was a back test of a key level as support. You rallied, got as high as 143, and then you were at a low today of 134. So the swings and volatility is still very much alive, and you're just right at this 135.81 support. Don't want to lose it, otherwise you know you're going to 130 again. So I just would like to see a higher low get put in, like a discernible higher low. And the thing about it is, you just got to be a little cautious after such a move like this and a downtrend. Again, they try to induce buying really hard from this previous high to low. Where are you at? Where are you reacting? That was an 88% retrace. What we know about the 886, that's technically, okay, if you're in a well-established downtrend and an asset eventually rises and retraces 88.6% of the way, and it holds there, stalls there, starts developing structures, maybe even forms of divergence, that is a value perceived area for a short seller in a downtrend. Just like 88% retraces in an uptrend, right? That's a value perceived area for a long. So the trend is still your friend if you're a bear, right? Because lower highs, lower lows consecutively. We're just putting in the lowest high right now, and we're at that value perceived area for a short seller. So I hope not, you know, but I'm just saying, right, you still got to be really cautious. You can't, like, these 886 retraces will make somebody forget the trend. Yeah, it'll induce buying from the dumbest of dumb money. Dumb money will be like, oh my God, dude, we're 135. Oh, we're good. We're gold, man. I would just be careful and cautious in crypto and risk on assets. And I mean, kind of Bitcoin too, but it's crazy what's going on with it. It's kind of inexplicable in a way, but not really, because maximalists will be like, well, dude, this is what Bitcoin was created for. I get it, man. People have been saying that for years. We've been covering these markets. COVID crash, you know, oil went negative, you know, and Bitcoin went to 3,850 or something at its lows. I mean, you know, you can say that, but hey, maybe this time's different, because it really is a monetary world order shift, and this is when I guess the line is getting etched into the sand or something right now. So love Bitcoin's resilience. It is phenomenal, and I can't wait to see if it continues, because we do need to make that higher high. We're so freaking close. You know, it's crazy. Think about it. Solana made an 886 and reacted there. Bitcoin made it from locally. You can just look above my head. Sorry, let me, gosh dang. Yeah, Bitcoin made a virtual 100% retrace. So stronger in its retrace than even Solana. So you'd imagine if Bitcoin continues to rally, then yeah, I'm sure altcoins will probably keep catching bids, but they won't be performing as well, it doesn't seem like. 100 feet in the sky? Dude, did you say 100 feet in the sky? Hold on, let's see if I read that right. Read it right. Dude, we're over 600 feet in the sky. Lion 22. All right. So, just saying, man. All right. So that's your Solana. And then we'll go to BNB, which was, started out a great day. It was up $608. But as you can see, any pullback on Bitcoin, I was watching it, man. The VIX was spiking. And what was it verbatim said yesterday? If what we are witnessing on futures bleeds into tomorrow and it's real, we're going to see a 10 to 20% jump on the VIX. It started at 10% in the morning, and throughout the day, it made it all the way to 20+% VIX. Yeah, there you go. So the thing about it was, when the VIX started spiking from like 14 to 20%, that's when Bitcoin started selling off from 88.5. It started recoupling with the equities.
In a UFC fight, Vitalik or Justin Sun? My bookie is giving 2-to-1 odds on the Booger Eater.
Yeah, dude, I would take Justin Sun all day. Because you know why, right? Because if the Communist Chinese Party ever heard about this fight, they would take Justin Sun and they would pump him so full of steroids. He would look like, the mountain when it was all said and done. So, yeah, like they did. He would be like the Communist Chinese, like Ivan Drago before that fight started. Yeah, of course. I'd probably put my entire penthouse on Justin Sun at that point. So cool with the hypotheticals, but anyway. Can't argue with the logic. So yeah, I was discussing about the VIX spiking. I tweeted about this where it's like, if the VIX, we get another pronounced rally on the VIX, typically everything reverts to selling. The fear index gets too high, then I've thought even gold most of the time dumps too. Not this time. Again, new paradigm. Stuff's like really happening here. The Chinese yuan saw its lowest level in very, very long time. The DXY is dumping. No one's buying bonds. And so anyway, when the VIX was spiking, you were watching Bitcoin go from like 88.5 all the way down to like 86.7 or something. And that was when all these altcoins that were up a lot. I think Solana was up like 4 or 5%. XRP was up. Ethereum was up a lot. BNB was up. Once the VIX started spiking, all of them sold off. Bitcoin started recovering, but the altcoins didn't get the memo and they kind of like stopped catching bids with Bitcoin again. And that's where we kind of are, right? I mean, talking about BNB is off its highs today by, almost 2%. So it looks better than most. I do like the low and then the higher low and the failure from sellers to even test the inflection zone again. That's very, very real. Very, very real. Okay. But at the same time, it's impossible to manage your risk in a situation like this because as swing traders, position traders, we're always looking to take longs at supports or shorts at resistance, and you're at neither. You're nearing the top of a range, and so that means if you were trying to long here, there'd be no practical place to be setting a stop loss up strategically, and your upside would be extremely limited. So that when you long down at supports or near supports, your upside potential is vast. Your stop loss is strategic. Can't do that here on BNB, but we'll continue monitoring it. It's one of your top cryptos via market cap in the world. So have in the chat. Okay, so those are your bigger cryptos. We can shift gears to the S&P 500, which you were lucky that day trader bots wanted to cover their position. They did not want to have a position open before close. So in that last 30 minutes of trading, if you're watching it, the bids came in. What did I just do? Oh my God. So that was where we got off the lows. But I'm telling you, watching this market today, there were no bids the entire effing day until the last 30 minutes of trading on Wall Street. And that is not a good sign. That's not a good thing. Okay. No one was buying today. short covering makes people buy. So, and yeah, I guess, you know what? There was a swing low from August 2nd that seems like was defended, at least for today. Nice. But yeah, gap down. At least you got an unfilled gap. Maybe they fill it on a short squeeze day. But yeah, below 524 on the S&P 500 ETF, the SPIDA. There's a lot of downside potential. 493 and then 480 really after that. So this is what we discussed about, right? Looking at the 4 hour, when you don't have any structure on the daily, there's not enough data, not enough candles. At least we had high and then the lower high here. That was identified. It's good, but now they've just broken support, and it's hard to feel good about this market or this spider when you're below that key support. So Dow Jones Industrial Average, same situation here. It's not the same. It's actually worse. I mean, that was your lowest close since the 8th of April. But that was like your third lowest daily candle close in like 11 months. And again, we knew below 40, oh my God, below 40K is 36.5. It's a straight down, straight up situation. I get it. There's a couple local levels here. But I'm just thinking back at this level from 2021, the old cycle top, 36.5 there. Yeah, so it seems like they're just... You see, though, what I'm talking about, why I don't really regard these that much, because it's like one time in history they acted as supports when they were manufactured back in last year. And so, like, you just capitulated through this August 2nd low. It was like nothing. Hot knife through butter. And I wouldn't even... Did they hold the level, or did shorts just cover to close their positions out because they don't want to... They just want to be cashed up because they don't want to deal with tomorrow morning. And they'll reassess when the market opens on where they're going to day trade. That's where we are. That's the market we're in right now. So I guess you're holding on to this May 30, 2024 low. And then after that, it's going to be 37.7. But yeah, I'm thinking a retest of the lows could make sense. A unfilled gap at least, whatever. NASDAQ. Where's all my work here? What the heck? Well, anyway, below 16,000 is being below the old cycle, 2021 cycle top. I think it's... Oh, yeah, wrong one. There we go. Better. Yeah, I mean, that's just bad. Really, really bad below that level. Nothing redeeming about this right now. 15,400's on deck below this level, you know, unless they just randomly start pumping it, which random pumps can happen. Short squeezes occur after insane drawdowns like this, but gap fill, they go fill the gap before rolling over again and do some more buying. But yeah, 15,400 seems like it's on deck. You know, it's an old all-time high from September 2021. It's a swing low from April of last year. That's it, you know, so... All right. What the heck? Russ 2000. After testing 1,926, 1888, 1900. Oh, what? I got the wrong tickers up on this new watch list. Let me just pull up the IW1 real quick. Yeah, I mean, you know, you tested 188 as resistance, 190, and until you recapture it, your target's 170, 173 for a second test. Maybe they confirm bottom here, but not great, man. Not great right now. Yeah, index funds are bad. And here we go, chat. Here is freaking gold. Are you kidding me?
Hype in the chat!
All-time highs as I'm literally speaking to you, and it's been that way for like a week. I mean, chat broken. You're wrong, dude, right? I'm confused. Are you talking about literally or? Yeah, I mean, gold is its own currency, but it is parabola. I mean, this will eventually conclude badly, but maybe at 4K. 4,500 first. This is like what we wish Bitcoin would do. Bitcoin used to do this a few times, right? I mean, it did do that. Okay, hold on. Yeah, 34.43. My alert's probably going to go up before the stream ends. I just out the gate as soon as futures reopened. Look at this, man. We're staring at all-time highs. This should be the gold stream now. We're going to replace the Bitcoin action screen above my head with just the gold chart, because all in all, it seems like no one wants to hear it, but it seems like Peter Schiff was right the whole time. And I just wish that Bitcoin would really do something now, like hardcore. It's trying to. Hey, what it's done so far is fantastic. But I'm talking, let's go to 92K and shut up Peter Schiff, because he's so right about gold and what it's doing. But he's just a pure hater, perma-bear of Bitcoin. And so I do want to see Bitcoin in this new world we're shifting into. I want Bitcoin to be that safe haven store value too, along with gold. Two can exist. I mean, it's a lot easier to buy and sell Bitcoin than it is gold, physical gold. So just big hypes in the chat for gold. It's just amazing. So I would say silver did okay. Silver above 32.51 is awesome. It's just it's like kind of V-shaped recovering right now. Fascinating. So there's no nothing we can do as a trader. There's no edge here. You can just own some silver if you want to. I mean, I own some silver, I own some gold physically, and that's great. I mean, I won't be selling selling my little bit of gold or silver. I don't care what the price of gold gets to. It's never going to make me be like, oh, I'm going to take this physical, asset and then go sell it downtown. I'm not doing that, right? So silver, here it is. There's the only thing to do would have been like, hey, maybe someone could have sized up a short on the harmonic, but we thought maybe we could have seen a 113 shark here. But yeah, you got a great reaction, and maybe they're going for a type 2 return of this bearish pattern. But I'm just thinking, like, in this environment with current fiat currency, like, legit kind of under fire, silver will probably have its own day, own month, own quarter, the monthly. Remember the monthly. Who cares about what's going on the daily in that V shape? You look at the monthly here. I mean, it's just complete recovery. You got 8 days, 22 hours. You don't want to close like this. It's like a hanging man reversal. But we still have an active monthly rising 3 methods bullish continuation pattern. So I'm rooting for silver, for sure, rooting. And you just got this 34.52 monthly candle close, February 2012 and October 2012. You break that, I think that's probably that's where we start seeing headlines on silver heading to 41.50 on the monthly. What a trend, what an M shape, what a type 2 return, and what kind of bullish price action we were receiving. We were here live streaming this price action. The 2008 candle close was violated, recaptured, and then reconfirmed as support, and the 200-month moving average was tested at the same time. It was gorgeous, and we've run off that to, trading pretty much at the highest levels we've seen since 2012. And yeah, aggressive harmonic targets have not been hit yet, the C point and the A point. So I think in time this uptrend that's been well established now, it seems like for years, will continue. We just don't know what month. I don't know. It's going to have its bust out month probably in time. I think people will probably speculators will probably eventually take some profit on gold and not rotate into silver. I would prefer it rotates into Bitcoin, but maybe I believe in Bitcoin too much. Okay. Here's US oil that they recaptured, $61. It's a zone. They recaptured. That's great for now, but remember, the trend is your friend if you're bearish, right? Lower highs, lower lows consecutively for a very, very long time. It all started with an informal W-shaped pattern. 886 meant value perceived area for short, right? That was the top. And since really September 2023, your high, your low, your lower highs, your lower lows, your lower highs, your lower lows, right? You're downtrending for a while now, a couple years, or a year and a half at least. So any test here, they could take it to 67.59. They could come up and fill the gap at $70.69, and it would still remain below the 200 moving average, still remain below the supply line, and just be your lowest high. So use your imagination. Rallies can occur in downtrends, and they can go to 88% retraces like we were discussing earlier, and they're still in downtrends. So this doesn't really change anything. It's great that buyers defended the level for now. Maybe you get a relief rally off that, but there's just nothing to do on US oil below $60. And man, some of these oil stocks themselves, holy crap, it's scary. Scary stuff what they're doing, like HES, HES, and ConocoPhillips. Some key support levels from history are broken, and I know HES back tested that level as resistance, started rolling over. Very bad technical developments on some energy stocks today from what I saw. I scanned a lot. If you're like in the Patreon Citadel, you saw the charts I was posting. A lot, dude. Lots of stuff going on. Okay, so natural gas, no surprise that this thing rolled over. It looked like, a high. It was a fractal of what we saw up at the top, man. An exact fractal. You made the high. You've been pretty big sell-off and a rally, a slightly higher high than this previous high, and then the head and shoulders developed. And it's like, wait a second. It's a freaking deja vu. Same fractal. What did it do? Natural gas on the, just on the close yesterday, lowest close since November 2000, November 18th of last year. Broke below the 200-day simple moving average for the first time with a candle close since September. So headed probably back down to 267, 264. All right. I'll tell you this, man. Some of the metals like palladium, platinum, they are not precious. They are not looking good technically. Palladium looks like redistribution. I don't want to get too far down the commodity rabbit hole, but we're just looking at those today too. And I'll just show you here. Where's my XPD? I mean, this right here, it was like such a good little setup here. And really, in the end, type 1, type 2, with a hop, they took it, all the way to 1250, and then it was over. And now, since that buying climax, you can clearly see some damage going on. Like, right? They tested support, it's fine. Bids came in to defend that level. But look how ideolated the price action was. How close was it to rival on the previous high? Not close at all. They sold off. The buyers, again, defended that level again and rallied it to do what? Just kind of rival the previous high. And now we're right, another sell-off, another test. Buyers still defending this support, and it's a big support, man. It's not a joke. But now look at these pieces of data we are receiving on palladium, where now it's like a very, very real lower high than these two highs, and then a lower low than all these lows. Something's going on. Very weak price action, and now another attempt from buyers. And guess what? Just another lower high, and now the 200 moving average is being regarded as resistance. And so what is going on? What it looks like is there is absorption of remaining demand on this asset. Momentum is shifted back into the hands of the sellers from the high to the higher high, now the lower highs. Same lows, now lower highs, now lower lows, now lower highs. So now from buyers having some control into momentum shifting in the hands of sellers. Now we are witnessing the momentum is shifting into distribution, redistribution. And if you lose 80 or 866, 910, well, it's GG, no re, they say. good game, no respawn, because the target's like 590. So I would be really careful on this. I mean, maybe some new, hey, look, until new data comes in, that's it. That's how it is. I mean, they start putting higher highs in and higher lows. We would talk about it, no problem. But until then, it's like, what do you want me to do? This is the data we have, and it's bad data. Sun's just gone down. Gonna have to turn on my light in a second. What happened? Where's the music, man? It should be going, dude. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button, the bell, the sub. Yeah, it's going. It's just a little quiet on my side because I think my volume might be just down too much. Yeah, music should be really quiet though. It shouldn't be like loud enough for you to be like, it's good, Rachel. So yeah, palladium and then platinum. Oh man, the lower low, the lower high. See that it's a heart rate monitor, right? I mean, okay, it's just a fixed price on platinum. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Platinum's going to be sitting around $1,000, 900 to $1,000 forever, I guess. Untradeable asset, to be real, unless you're on joke time scales. Good luck with 3-to-1 there. You wouldn't 2-to-1, 1-to-1, but yeah, you just put in the lowest low seen in over a year now, and you're struggling at that 200. Ugh, gross. Okay, so yeah, things aren't looking great. Commodities are not really looking great, man. They're not. Like sugar looks terrible. Look at sugar, man. I mean, it's over. It's over for sugar. That falling wedge was beautiful. This is like a Bitcoin situation, right? You got a supply line. You got some slightly lower low. You probably had divergence on the lower low, like Bitcoin, and then you get a squeeze, right? An exhaustion rally. Sellers just exhausted. And then what happens? Oh, look. The high to low, how far did we reach it? 88%. And then you rolled over back to supports. Then you rallied. What, lower high in the previous high, the previous high, and the previous high. So the downtrend remains on sugar futures. And yeah, you're looking like you're about to head on down to $16. There's this one support back here they're trying to hold on to. Yeah, 1761, man, that's real bad. And then, wow, copper, crazy, right? That beautiful harmonic framework setup, you know, type 2 return at support, took it to all-time highs, and then it crashed. And now it's trying to pull a silver a little bit. Yeah, back above 464 is nice. But man, there's just so many support resistances, right? Like, look at this one from 2021. Yeah, 487. There's no edge, right? You're just looking at a potential V shape, but it could just, what if it just rolls over and then puts in a confirmation high? That could have been it right there. What a beautiful, beautiful shooting star reversal. It should be in a freaking book, a textbook. That's gorgeous. And it's like you got the shooting star, potential shooting star. The next day, confirmed it. But it was not just confirmed, it was also a bearish engulfing candle. And from there, it was over. But then you look and you can't believe it. Like Klaus Schwab, he stepped down today. He's done, dude. Okay, he was unmarketable for the communist takeover of the world, right? Too many memes were made. We won the meme war, by the way. That's why he's gone. No one could resonate with that old German communist, all right? And so, but it seems like he's still laughing because you got live cattle futures here, which is still so elevated, and locally it's crazy structure. Like this is almost like a bullish deep crab C wave completing, and C to D wave would take you to all-time highs and beyond. So everyone wants to have an alert set up above 207, maybe 208. You hear that alert? Look at the old resistances flip to support not once but now twice in such a well-established uptrend. I mean, this is what we wish every asset in the entire freaking world looked like. This is it. This is what we want. Live cattle futures. We wish Bitcoin was live cattle futures. Because you're just looking at potentially this. is the deep crab. 1618, which is like target 220. That's what it looks like. It's wild. We got less than 10 minutes till your daily candle close. Again, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button, the bell. I'm about to get up and turn my lights on. Oh God, hold on one sec. Let me just do that real quick. Mother of God. Don't worry, next time I'll do it before the stream starts. All right. Anyway, yeah, crazy stuff. Live cattle futures, feeder futures too. But anyway, let's shift. People fall asleep. Commodities, for some reason, just make people tired, dude. You want to see a chart that shouldn't make you fall asleep, but look at, I don't know when this updates. This is your eggs, your per dozen US city average, 623 a dozen is crazy. But here we are, a fresh all-time high. I thought we had dumped, and I don't know. Don't know how current this is. Maybe someone could back me up on this. Give me some information. Let's go eggs, dude. All right, shifting. Let's look at the Mag 7 first. It was bad, man. Very bad, boys. Very bad. Tesla was down over 7% of the lows. Again, the shorts covered. Saved by the day traders. Yeah, because even the shorts don't even want to be involved with the market tomorrow at open. They don't know what's going to happen. We could get a huge short squeeze. Exactly. To go fill the gap. That's their thought process. Man, they could push this thing higher, fill the gap, and they might go short during the day when it gets to 241 if that happened. Be their opportunity. But yeah, you still just have this distribution going on below the 200 moving average, below a key $300 psychological level, but it's also like a real inflection point. It's not good. And really, you know what? I was looking at this more. I haven't plotted this once yet, but just using my imagination. I mean, I almost am looking at it like this. Crab pattern. 1414, 1618. This seems like perfect. I mean, to me, that kind of is the ticket right there. Here's your crab pattern, man. What was it? What color did I use for crabs? I know I used dark red for. That's the shark color. I don't know, yellow crab. There are yellow crabs, right? Yeah, so it's just like a wave structure that is very bearish. Very bearish wave structure. So this could end up, I mean, this is the, I mean, 60% on B is 1618 on D. That's like 170. And that's really bad because you do not want to see Tesla below 180 at all. That would be really bad. So maybe they don't let it. Maybe you get to the 1414 and it reacts there, but that is just not something you look at and you say, I can't wait to long an asset that's showing like a potential bearish wave structure so bad. I mean, it would be kind of confirmed below 215. But yeah, not good. Nvidia, my God, man. Brutal. Down 4.51%. After hours, down another 0.42%. So it's like the shorts covered close out the day, and no one wants it. You are just trading at danger levels, man. I'm telling you, this old all-time high from March of last year, to lose this, you are trading below it after hours right now. You close like kind of right at it. But yeah, your target on deck, unless miracles happen, unless they come in and locally put in a higher low and we then rally, like, yeah, you could, if the data comes in and it's like this, fine. Let's wait for that data, okay? But if it doesn't, if we don't get that pivot here, you have an easy $76 target, and no one wants to talk about it because that is really bad. I mean, that's kind of gonna be devastating to people's portfolios. And that's another 21% downside on Nvidia. one of your largest market cap assets in the entire effing world. 20% downside. Could anyone stomach that? What's going to happen to the VIX? What's going to happen to other semiconductors? What's going to happen to the rest of the Mag 7? Nvidia doing that. Be bad, man. Big one, 87,574. Very strong. I'm just so infatuated with Bitcoin's performance. Because outside of 2023, that's kind of like a good example maybe. Because if you remember the regional banking crisis, I mean, you had big tech like kind of really having big markdowns. Obviously, the regional banks themselves were crashing, but big mega banks were doing fine. And then Bitcoin was like holding up, and it was like, well, that makes sense because this is kind of related. Okay, people don't trust small banks because they're imploding and all that. The interest rates are too high. They still have like record like hundreds of billions of dollars of unrealized losses on bonds. These regional banks still have that, I believe. And so Bitcoin did fine. And now we're in a very similar market where it's different. It's not banks teetering on collapse. It's like kind of like fiat currency teetering on collapse. Like the whole order that we've known for at least 20 something years it's changing. And so Bitcoin's performing well in it again. I think it's pretty cool to see. So, yep. Nvidia, I'm telling you, man, unless they pivot it right here and we start going, it could. See, that's the thing. Like, it could pivot, make a higher low, and it could rally, but it's probably still going to make a lower high and roll over later. So it's like it's going to be bad probably sooner or later. So take your pick. I'd rather just get it over with. Let's just dump. Let's make it chaotic, catastrophe. Let's get some circuit breakers going. Let's just get it over with. Get a $76 fast versus just drawing it out. Stupid bear market rallies that we're not going to trust. Okay. So that's your Nvidia. Not great. Meta, very bad. The lowest daily candle close confirmed on Meta since August 5th of last year. We discussed this. It was the worst piece of data you could ever dreamed of on the 15th. We were live here talking about that candle close below this level is very bad because it means 454 is on deck. Well, we're on the way real fast. That's your target still, 454. Below that, 384. That's it. That's all you got. Get Rick Zuckerberg. Amazon, down 3%. Not going to be good, dude. Their earnings the next couple quarters, maybe not this quarter coming up, but the one after and the one after that, it's going to be really, really bad. Because I think like 40 to 50% of all products sold on Amazon come from China. And now China, like 90% of all shipping from China is gone. It evaporated. It's actually over. It's almost like we're setting up for a war. Like China and America are making it to where they don't have to rely on the other country for literally anything anymore, where there's going to be no more trade. And that's wartime. Like when you're in war, that's exactly how it is. There is nothing mutual going on between each other. That's what's setting up right now. And it's escalating. Nothing's de-escalating right now, all right? No Trump tweets are good right now. So I would think like even if we get some sort of rally here, it's going to be real bad later in the year for something like Amazon. It's just reality, man. Okay, 158, wait on that. 158, it's not a big support. I mean, below that's 144. I would not be surprised if we eventually see 144. It's just been marking down. They might fill a gap for a short squeeze. Day traders probably going to short it. Microsoft is just bad, dude. Like, you know, the day traders came in, covered their shorts. Good for them. It's up 0.56 after hours. Okay, but I think a retest 344, 350 is I think that's probably going to happen. If they don't hold it, good God, dude. 315, 318. But I would think, you know, even if they make a slightly lower low, you'd be like, is it a real breakdown? They could give us, you know, 1 and 2 when we get a more pronounced rally, but eventually it'll wind up making a much lower high than these highs and roll over later. So it's just sooner or later, things are going way lower by the looks of it. Okay, this trend has fully reversed to the downside. Google, real bad. Google went to 146. What's 146? Oh, it's just an old all-time high from August 2021. What, 3.5 years ago? You're telling me Google's done nothing? Yes, that is correct. Google, yeah, it did it like, but hey, man, if you're a long-term investor of Google, yeah, same price as it was 3.5 years ago. And if you lose this 146 level, just like Meta, if it loses this level right way lower, you can clearly see what the target is. It's 130, 131. So all they, I mean, you were lucky that the Trump tweet came in, but the buyers defended Google at an actual gap fill. The gap was unfilled. They filled it, and then you got the rally. But what was after the rally, what occurred? Piece of data was a bearish back test to 160 as resistance, and you're just rolling over. Just bouncing off inflection points. So this is gross, man. Yeah, big tech. There's no structures unless you look at the 4 hour and they're bear structures, and it's just garbage. And Apple down only 1.94%. Yeah, unfilled gap, but the gap, see, they'll fill the gap probably tomorrow and they'll take it to 196, and it's like, will they hold it? Will they defend it? Oh, if they don't, it's so bad, man. And the good news, I guess, is you've got some good levels, for support and all that, where bids could come in. But anything below 196, 198 long enough, it's an easy 182, 176, as you saw the first time. So yeah, any movement upward tomorrow, a gap fill at 196, which unfortunately is a major resistance. They test it as resistance. That's where those bots might go short. Okay, and then you got a 182 target down there. Man, another gap fill. You see that Apple from May of 2024, like Google, they're just filling gaps, man. So that's your Mag 7, or I should say your Malignant 7, dude. Brutal. Everybody doing okay? Y'all all right, man? NASDAQ moving? Well, we can pull up the futures chart if you're so inclined. Yeah, we got some bids coming in. Do you see? Yeah, S&P and Dow Jones and NASDAQ, Russell 2000, they're all catching some bids right now. This is what I'm saying. This is why on dumps like that with elevated volatility index, we know how the bots are. They're just day traders. So they're covering their shorts because they knew, like, hey, we could be gapping up tomorrow. We could go run to fill those gaps on some of these. And look, Dow Jones, perfect. They tested the support. They defended the support. And now you're rallying off of it at 38,000, 37,840 level. Thing is about the spider, though, you're not. Like, you're not at supports. They might come and back test 5270 as resistance, right? Because since they just gapped down and broke it, there's an unfilled gap. They go and fill the gap, and then we roll over later. Easily could happen. Yep. And here's your crypto quad screen. Solana top left, Ethereum top right, XRP bottom left, Binance coin bottom right. Just kind of, Ethereum traded the same price as trading at April 6, 2025. Trading the same price as trading at somewhere in 2020. Yeah, that's bad. It was looking all right, but now it's starting to look like, okay, if we're just looking at the 4 hour on Ethereum, you see the high, the same high. Okay, that's nice. Sell off. Whoa, these are higher lows than this low. But all of a sudden, here we go. New data, lower highs than these two highs. So all of a sudden, maybe evidence of distribution going on Ethereum. That would be terrible, man. I'm just wondering, like, how in the world does Ethereum go lower, but Bitcoin rallies higher? It'd be hard to believe. Somehow it happened today. Okay, we got 5 minutes after the new day. So Jesus chimes in your head. I got it. Haven't put it on my stream deck yet, but let's go back. Bitcoin on the new day. That was the highest daily candle close confirmed on Bitcoin officially since. Man, it's close. Okay, highest daily candle close on Bitcoin since March 24th. That's pretty good, but no higher high yet. Close. The same high. Very real same high. But you would say this is some sort of neckline. A neckline of potential lower low double bottom. But you can't really get excited about saying double bottom because your upside's limited. You know 92K is going to be like a huge deal. Like, I don't know if there's going to be enough demand on this market to break that. It's going to be a steel wall. But either way, it's the dragon. We got the dragon. We broke out, but then we went sideways for a week, and it's like, I just don't know, man, how it's going to play out with equities looking so bad. And then guess what? An actual decoupling for now. Beautiful. All right, so you heard me. Highest daily candle close on Bitcoin since March 24th. Okay, Ethereum, same thing? No, lowest daily candle close since April 16th. All right, so not the same thing at all. Not even close. Good God, think about it. March 24th, Ethereum would have to be over $2,100 for us to say the same thing. Like, highest daily candle close on Ethereum since March 24th. Well, guess what? March 24th, Ethereum was trading at $2,100. 2,090. That shows you how bad this market is for this one. It's crazy. It is freaking crazy. The same day, Bitcoin, right? Same price it was March 25th. Ethereum's down 25% still from that same high. Wow, that's just... Animal spirits have been out of this, and they're still just auto-selling everything. Ethereum Foundation probably auto-selling everything. Wow. And then again, going back to Ethereum and Bitcoin to look at the candle close. There it was. Confirmed wreckage. Lowest daily candle close since January of 2020. And way lower to go. All right. You can't believe it, can you? But what a freaking Wyckoff distribution schematic. First identified in November 2022. Right up here. It was, up thrust, outer distribution. We had this. And then it just last month's supply the whole time. It was just bad. And then I know Raoul Paul was talking about this as some sort of reaccumulation strategy. It's like, no way. And look at us now. All this time. People don't even remember. It's like thousands of years ago. It's all right. Okay. So wow, the sun has gone down, and the lights are turning on. It's getting dark out. It's just beautiful, beautiful backdrop with the new mic and the new amp. Got my stream deck. Wow, and the new camera. I mean, a full transformation of my mobile setup here. So I'm just really, reinvesting in the stream has been kind of the name of the game, and glad you could all be here with me. Wish we were, here under better circumstances, but I can consider this a huge capital W because we all love Bitcoin, man. I mean, this stream, we believe in it fundamentally and what it is, okay? Individual sovereignty. It is a financial weapon to defend ourselves. I think it should be in the Second Amendment. Like protection from debasement and especially protection against censorship, which I'll tell you, Europe, the way it's going, Bitcoin will not be something that people want. Bitcoin will be something that people effing need. Because Europe is gone. Europe is no longer like a republic or democracy. You get arrested for saying, speak English in the UK. If you're speaking out against the government, they'll put you in jail. And so they will freeze your bank account soon because they are rolling out central bank digital currencies, which is like, oh, that's real bad. It's like, well, yeah, but then that's just kind of like a conspiracy theory. And nah, dude, it's coming there. So Europeans, I hope you understand the significance of Bitcoin and what it is and the role it will play in the future. Because without it, government just says, oh, we don't like what you said on social media. They have frozen everything of yours. You have nothing but maybe a wallet with your blockchain, with your crypto, with your Bitcoin. So, all right. So, man, I'll tell you, looking at some of these stocks today made me feel some type of way, and not in a good way. I mean, possibly some really good short setups are coming. Possibly some good bearish price action. Some better, like Kellogg here. Look at Kellogg. I mean, if you just, maybe I'm off here. Maybe like it's gonna be an invalid like idea. But you just think about Kellogg. You know, they changed its ticker and it got relisted or whatever. But here's the highest high. Here's a major sell-off, and here's an attempt from buyers to retest that level once. Failure. All right, second test, world collapse, tweezer top reversal. Are you telling me we got a tweezer top reversal on a confirmation high? And then on the confirmation high, I've seen this story before, slightly higher high than the previous high, and it ends up being a head and shoulders. Big bearish engulfing candle today on Kellogg. I think your target's back to 1553. They don't hold that way up, long way down. So something like this. It's just interesting to look at, right? Well, you know, not crazy.
Anonymous tipped $25. Synapse is junk, but it's catching some bids.
Dang, dude. Synapse, yeah, it did. It caught bids yesterday. Oh, that's what happens. It probably 5 people and a donkey pushed the price up of that asset. It's really not. Congrats, man. I mean, how many losses did you have to take on to be participating in that asset to make that money back? And it just probably was back at the same price it was at 2 weeks ago. Woo! It's all a joke, man. Yeah, they get so illiquid that anything can move the meter. Anything can move the asset. They're so destroyed. And that's why it's like when assets like in crypto lose 99, 88 or more % of their value, like it starts becoming higher risk for a short, extremely high risk for a short because of these squeezes, because you don't realize the liquidity is gone from the asset. It doesn't take much to squeeze higher. So yeah, that's what we're always looking to, looking for assets to be at resistance, at peaks. Think about something like Fortinet, beautiful. I mean, that's the ticket. You like structures, and that's like head and shoulder behavior. That's just kind of like the trend reversed. And you rallied and did what? From the previous high to low. How deep was the retrace from this high to low? Oh, well, chat. An 88% retrace. But the 88% retrace was confluent with the overhead resistance from November and December and January of this year. And what else? You can clearly see one test. Thank you, Trump. Nah, 2 tests. Kind of a separate tweezer top. Perfect. I mean, you can't even make up upper, and then it rolls over. So, and then it's like, oh, well, probably going way lower on Fortinet, stuff like that, down 3.55%. So, things like that. Things like Take Two, right? What a dream. What a dream start. It took a little bit, people were asking, what's going on? This is like a short setup. Like, okay, I don't act like I know if these short setups will play out, but I certainly know price action correlating to old all-time highs from 2021, okay, years ago. What a nice run, an unstoppable, godlike run. But look how the price action correlated to that old high. Well, they up-thrusted through the old all-time high once, sell-off. Second time, slightly higher high, all-time highs, March 27th. Then a pretty big drawdown, a lower low than the previous low, then a rally, and what happened? They up-thrusted, right? The up-thrust, that definition being when buyers are able to capture prices above a key resistance from history, but they're unable to sustain prices above that level for very long. This was almost immediately rejected. Okay, that's your up thrust. But then sell off too. And then the back test of the up thrust, right? They have formally confirmed what was once resistance as resistance. They needed to know because they were breaking it. They were breaking it multiple times. They needed to know that it's very real. Oh, okay. Well, the buyers relent at that point. They say, hey, that's resistance again. I'm done. I'm not messing with this. Short sellers come in. Great low risk, high reward opportunity. Way lower price, 186, 160. Could go to 140 if it's all said and done. You know, this really starts getting bad on these markets. So things like that, man, that's the things I'm trying to teach here. It's hard to like look at, you know, hey man, the S&P's like just been crashing. But before that, we had identified the bear structures. Dow Jones, the bear shark. I mean, so you think about it, it's like a spring back test. The spring, the buyers recapture the level, then they reconfirm its validity. Where it was once support, it has flipped to support again with confirmation, and now you're catching some good follow through. The same type of thing, flipping the chart over. So this is stuff you're really looking for. But wait, there's more, isn't there? Maybe. Oh, definitely. Hess, we were talking about Hess earlier. I mean, down 3.3%, but this level, and it was bad, like 160. Another great, like, look, man, resistance, and then just the bottom fell out, like just crashed. Look at that, in a matter of days, down 21%. But now look what's happening. They're testing 131. What's 131? Well, let's just look. Oh, it's an old all-time high from June 2022. It was also tested formally in September, August 2022. Look, support in December 2022. Look, beautiful spring back test of spring, July 2023, proceeded to make all-time highs after. Look, support, December 2023. Look, support. Get it? Violated a couple times. Support. It is now no longer correlating positively to that level. So it's resistance now, a couple times. Now you're closing the day below it. And it's like, use your imagination, Larry. I mean, if this is really broken, your downside, minimum 113, but I don't think that's a strong support. I think your strong support is $91. It's like, you clearly can see it's a little bit like a head and shoulders in a way, but you can see the high, the lower high, and this is a slightly lower high. So 1, 2, 3. The rule of three, resolution. Well, I think it's resolving. If you're anything below 131 given enough time is way freaking lower on something like Hess. Integrated oil. Yikes. Did we have a request? Sorry, man. I was just going through some of these I saw that were like pretty cool, pretty interesting. Let me see here. Chicken Biscuit wanted Casper. All right, let me look at these. Knock out the requests real quick. Remember, when we're looking at these requests, these are people supporting this stream via crowdsourcing. That's the only way this stream gets supported. Okay, I don't have sponsors. I'm listening to copyright music. There's no monetization on YouTube at all. There's no affiliate marketing links. Nothing. You don't watch ads when you watch this stream. None. Okay, so you know where my integrity is. Always insured. No media packets. Hey man, 25K, 30K, I'll promote your scam. No, none of that. So, Chicken Biscuits, thanks for that 25, man. Casper. So we look at this honoring the crowdsourcer. So yeah, had a huge spike. Huge spike. But is it making a higher high yet? Kinda, yeah, a higher high. Remember, the target of the trade setup was right here. It's unbelievable how perfect it was, right? Shorts covered immediately at target 1. And when shorts cover, they buy back, but at the same time, maybe some people came in to bid on it, scalpers. So both of them collectively created a rally that gave us the highest daily candle close since March 2nd, which is nice. In a low, the lower low, the slightly lower low, if not the same low. Yeah, sellers starting to look a little exhausted locally. Yeah, the weakness. You're right. And how do you determine kind of weakness or exhaustion? Just looking at price, the disparity in price between the valleys, where you see this low or even this low, a substantially lower low than these lows. But then on this low, it's about the same low. I mean, even slightly lower low. So that's how you can see the price action. But then you can look at the oscillators. Oh, and the oscillators really help you determine that the sellers are exhausted with triple bullish divergence on the third valley, which happened to be the take profit of a short up here from 10 cents. Oh, dude, it only lost like 46% of its value from the entry of that short, right? Pretty good. So who knows, man? Like at this point, I'm not looking to do anything with it. I mean, yeah, people could have longed it. Could have, sure. But what a squeeze. It was up, my God, 8.56% yesterday. Heck, man, they could take this thing up to 9.710 cents again. Sure. But actionable, nothing to do. I don't really see anything. I mean, someone could have, again, a low, the lower low, they could have tried to take a long at the support where people take profit on shorts. So, thanks again, Chicken Biscuits, man. Chicken Biscuits in the chat. Okay, Synapse. Yeah, dude, I don't look at this crap. It's on my watch list. Look, dude, I mean, great. Congratulations on making all-time lows, forming zero structures. I guess the divergence came in the end on the RSI. I just don't care. Like, I just wasn't even really that interested. Oh, my head and shoulders. I mean, that was very real in the end, but whatever. We got bigger fish to fry. You know, too many assets in the world to look at and to care about Synapse coin, or the divergence that continued on the MACD ended up just failing. So, does this change anything? Nope. It made a higher high? No. Are you above 26.9 cents? No. Is there any structure yet? No. Nothing to do here for a swing trader, position trader. Nothing to do, man. Nothing. Yeah, we cannot really care about assets just recently hit all-time lows a couple weeks ago. Just can't care. It's scam coin. Scam coin, no intrinsic value. Whatever rally you get is going to be a lower high and it's going to roll over to lower lows later. So, now or later. That's it, dude. That's it for that's the only requests today. We had 2 requests. This is what happens in bear markets, man. People just stop caring. You know, people don't want to see stuff. So, whatever, man. What do you want me to do? Like, just go back to my content from what I was looking at before, and that's just looking at some interesting assets for possible shorts, or at least, hey, there might be an increased probability of lower prices soon on some of these. Progressive had a classy distribution structure. This was identified and posted a couple days ago in the Patreon Citadel, and I love to see the follow through we're getting. I mean, it does look like someone's beginning to offload on Progressive after such a nice run. It could just end up holding the 200 and being fine, but man, I don't know. I'm just looking at when do we see local structures like that on Progressive? Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. You just don't forever. You don't. So I just find it interesting. I'm wondering what this will manifest into. Old pin gaming, bear pole, bear flag. The bear flag ended up back testing key support resistance as resistance. It was gorgeous. It was like, what a perfect setup for a short right there. And look at you, you know, that was the second lowest daily candle close since 2020, since the COVID crash. We got a 1266 on deck, 1059 after that. Just bad. Look at this, Live Nation down 3%. This one, I think, look, bearish engulfing candle confirmed today. A bearish back test the past few days of 127.85. Is that a joke level or is that a real level? Well, it was a real level here. Maybe it was that where it was manufactured as support resistance? No, it was actually not. The old all-time high from November 2021, February 2022. You now have an attempt from buyers to recapture that zone once and now twice. And on the second attempt from the buyers, less than before. Sorry. Taylor Swift Army, the Swifties, they're distributing right now. They're getting out. And the fact that we closed the day below 123.94 bodes very, very bad. Candle closes, candle high closes, candle open, sorry. Candle closes.
Synapse weekly volume, biggest ever.
Yeah, but no structures. No key inflection points from history for us to strengthen our argument with risk management. There's just, we'll go back and look, but you just, okay, record volume, but what they did, cure cancer? Would they start making money? Nah, dude, they didn't do anything. I'd just be like, again, it doesn't mean that it can't go higher. Again, people are just, a lot of times people get the misconception about what I'm trying to do here. Looking for structures and price action that would held my argument for lower or higher, like I'm doing right now with Live Nation. I'm not acting like I know that we're going to 101, $100, but I'm just telling you, right? We know the zone. It's been identified, and the price action locally to the zone has been unfavorable. Up thrust a couple times. Now you're just bearish engulfing below it. Hidden bearish divergence into bearish convergence locally. There's stupid downside on Live Nation here. Such a lack of demand that the buyers attempt to go test this high from at 140 from November. They couldn't even come close. They got to 134. And now you're confirming we're screwed. So I think lots of downside on Live Nation. This is what I'm talking about. Some possibly good opportunities from shorts, right? Easy to manage your risk anyway. I mean, I don't think you'd want to be short on Live Nation given enough time above 130. Yeah, that's where you could probably cut your losses. But if your losses never get, cut because your stop loss never gets triggered, well, man, you're probably going to get paid $100. That's what I'm talking about. Stuff like this. This is the value I tried to present to you, the viewer, okay? I'm not giving news and not trying to do predictions and, hey, where's Bitcoin, where's Ethereum or Synapse coin going to be in 2 years from now? Well, they got this new project and they mass-produced Beanie Babies, and it's just, I know the guy, I talked to him, the CEO of Synapse coin, and yeah, this guy went to Harvard, and that just don't do that. It's just charts and price action.
Wayne Batson tipped $25. Is that a cup and handle forming on Altcoin?
Is it? I don't know. Is it a cup with handle on Altcoin? Yeah, dude, probably. Thank you. We'll look at Altcoin, all right? So, Live Nation, not looking great, man. Are there others? Maybe. I'll tell you this, Block, Square, XYZ, whatever they call it. Well, look how bad this is, okay? I mean, there's this 5582 level, 5830. It's a zone of inflection, historically very significant. It's been support August 2024. It's been support May 2023, March 2023, support June 2022. Look, November 2022. Look, September 2019, November 2019. It was an old all-time high, March 2018. Look what they've done. What should have been support, what was once support. I mean, in July 2024, after this higher low, this was like, hey, this is a great setup for higher prices. You had a dragon pattern. This is what we want on Bitcoin. We want some sort of higher low to come in to maybe confirm momentum shift. We may not get it, but I'm saying the rally occurred, and then it was like, okay, exit, exit, exit. Confirmation of distribution at resistance. No thank you. Done. Out of this. So crashed, and now this is the worst thing you could ever ask for. I mean, one could be short and have a stop loss probably at 57.24 and probably not going to get stopped out because this thing's probably going to $34 next. If not 34, then fine. Probably $39.68, $39. You can see your price action here. It's an illiquid zone. So the most recent piece of data we are receiving is what was once support resistance has flipped to resistance, and it's being confirmed. And you're getting a lower high than this high and this high low. That's so bad. I mean, that is like aggressive, unbelievable amounts of distribution. There, on some of these, there are people that are just trying to get out as fast as they effing can. And I think it's like market makers trying to get out as to not create panic. Because typically, bear flags, upsloping consolidation. Oh, that's what we were getting before the Trump tariff stuff. We were getting upsloping consolidation patterns, giving people opportunities to offload. But now you're getting like lower lows, lower highs, lower lows locally with this type of bearish price action. It's not good. That's like the worst. Wait, are there more? Yeah, stuff like Texas Instruments, man. Topped out, resistance, flip to resistance, you crash. Now you're at support level. Not much to do here, right? It's too beaten down to short it, but yeah, there's holding on here, and you probably very well catch a rally, but not yet. It wasn't Texas Instruments. It was the other one. It was the Tractor Supply Company. Let's just type it. Wasn't it this one? Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, this is gorgeous. Like, dude, you want to talk about distribution, momentum shift? Look at the lower high, right? The trend's reversing. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now you're up against this one support. You were saved by the short sellers covering the day traders today. Right there, man. Losing 49.55. Just think about, where do these typically go? 88% retraces from their low to high. $40 target. 40 bucks on Tractor Supply Company. Give me enough time. 87.544 on Bitcoin. If you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button, the bell, so thanks so much for being here. Look, man, we're just hanging out, going over the markets, and yeah, just trying to enjoy ourselves. Government's not stockpiling silver. Yeah, it's true. They're not stockpiling Ethereum either. It's like institutions, right? BlackRock, did they buy $84 million worth of Ethereum today? No, but they did of Bitcoin. Is Michael Saylor just auto bidding Bitcoin? Doesn't matter the price, always buying once a week. Is he buying Ethereum? No, it's Bitcoin. Yeah, same situation. And the price is similar. Bitcoin's, or sorry, gold and silver. Silver's not playing ball. Bitcoin's rallying. Ethereum's not catching any love. None of the altcoins really are too much. Yeah, it's wild, man. So you can just look at stuff like this, and it's kind of scary, the downside potential on some of these. ConocoPhillips, let me show you real quick. Like, man, you're lucky, but dude, I tell you, below this, you're lucky, right? July 2014, the peak before the oil glut. They defended it at close, but you were like falling below it though at the lows of the day. But you're just right there. If you lose this support, right? It was just tested in March. If you lose this, it's a long way down, very, very long way down. What a downtrend. We've been live now, hour and 30 minutes. How many likes we got, man? We got enough likes, or probably not, right? I always have to beg for likes. I don't know why. Let's see, 292 likes.
Hey,
620
look at
watching.
It. You
Half
called
people
the top
hate
at
me.
$130. Where do you think it goes now?
But BD, thanks so much for the $20 super chat. IIPR, we can get to it. IIPR. Innovative industrial properties. 130. Yeah, well, it was resistance. Well, I mean, it's like that. That's it, man. Like, that was the only level that made any sense, right? And so it's done, right? It was like a harmonic, it was like an M shape, but ended up becoming kind of like a 5-0, like a bearish. It didn't even make a 50% retrace, not even close. So, yeah, I would say I called the top. I would say, like, that was the only thing that made sense. Anyone watching or anyone that looks at levels from history would be like, that might be it, you know? So, it's been crashing, just made its lowest price since March 2020, talking over 5-year lows. And you said, where does it go now? Look at the gaps down. I don't know, man. Like, there's no edge, right? There's no structure. So I think at least 42.63 for a test, and they don't hold that. I mean, 36.50, 23.44, then 20 bucks after that. So just been crashing. You're so beaten down so fast. Now they're starting to be bullish divergence, right? Like seller exhaustion starting to come in. So this is like an area where, like, people, if they're short from up here, they're just constantly covering, because you can get a gap fill run to 65. They go test $67 as resistance before rolling over again. I mean, they could short squeeze this thing, so, because there's a lot of unfilled gaps, but nothing to do here. Too destroyed to short, and not enough evidence to go long. Nothing to do, man. Crazy divergence, the bullish divergence it looks like on the RSI. That's good. All right, BD. Thanks again, man. Yeah, dude, I could look all day. That's what I did today. I spent a lot of time looking at a lot of different assets and posted some really good charts and charts only on Patreon Citadel. So, yeah, you want to join that. That is the single best way to support this 100% crowdsourced stream, where you get access to all my charts. I posted like 3 different trade setups today. You can access the premium Discord chat. There's just value. There's value involved, but above all the value you get, you're just supporting a streamer who didn't sell out, who could have sold out a million different times and was like, nah, not selling out, man. Not accepting money from entities to promote to you. Because, at one point I was in marketing, and I hate ads. I hate marketing. I don't like them at all. So, whatever. So I think that's like, hey, everyone's got their different influencer. Pick your fighter. It's like, well, this guy didn't accept money from entities and promote to his audience, and won't. It's pretty good. So, that's like a good thing in the world. I think like that. Maybe it's not, right? But like, I feel like you get the moral high ground when you don't accept money, when you don't take quick money to promote crap to your audience. So it's nice having the moral high ground. But there's a catch, right? It's like, well, $25 requests, whatever. But yeah. So when you join the Patreon/Citadel or you tip this stream, you're voicing with your wallet. You're saying, I want this to continue. I want you to continue never selling out. You've never sold out in over 7 years. This is me supporting that. That's what you do. Wait, you thought that was the only look at this, dude. Like Intel, look at this wave structure, man. You're waiting for $13. Waiting for $13, man, on Intel. You are right at this support. You lose this, it is a long way down. You're just lucky that the shorts covered the past few days. They're just not letting it really go lower. I mean, maybe it doesn't, but it just looks bad. Very bad. I'd imagine I didn't look at PayPal. It looks like crap. Oh, well, it's kind of holding on to key supports for now. You're all right. You are all right here, but you don't want to lose that. If you lose that, man, wow. I'm having an alert set up on this. It looks okay. It didn't get nuked today like a lot. And then there was a, oh, look at this. I don't know how this is going to play out, man, okay? Because it's a utility, and you would just think, all right, you being a utility, those are the most defensive stocks you could ever own. Like in market downturns, utilities get hit too, but instead of like losing 70, 80% of their value, they might just lose 30 to 40% of their value in big bear markets. Okay, so you look at Southern Company, the issue is it's given us the framework for action. It's like legit saying, hey, it's over. We're about to go through a major drawdown. We're about to go retest 80 again. You have a perfect bearish bat pattern with a type 2 return. And what makes this such a strong, I think it increases your probability of down next. Really so much on this confirmation high, right? You have the type 2 return, and on the type 2 return, you have a form of confirmation. And that form of confirmation is actually a lower high than the first high locally. So to me, that's like screaming. Okay, burn this image in your mind, okay? It's just like looking at the NASDAQ. You had the completed harmonic, a different type of harmonic, but you had a type 1 reaction, a type 2 return. But on the type 2 return, look what we had, a form of local confirmation that it was very real. And look at the consequences of that confirmation high. Crash, eventually. You didn't crash till Trump tweets stuff, but that's what I'm saying. You have all the makings of a bearish Vosity athlete, and certainly bearish divergence, okay? Continuation of lower levels on the oscillators, both oscillators. I mean, they're both implying impending reversal to the downside. They just are. It may break upward because it's a utility company, and all right, bro, let's do it, man. Let's just pump but you're just, that's like you got 2-7 offsuit, you trying to long this, you got 2-7 offsuit, and someone's betting like they have pocket aces. You gonna really bet against that? You really gonna play that hand? Probably not. But this is technically a pocket aces situation for short sellers. This is like you got the greatest probability of resolution downward impending. And risk management, it's off the high a little bit. I mean, the closer you are probably to like 93.20, the most optimum it would be for risk management. But like, you're still right there. It hasn't really played out yet. And I'm excited to be paying attention to this one. Everyone should have their alert set up on this. It's gorgeous. And you have some other defensives too that look just like this, which is kind of scary. So like what? Southern Company, utility company. But then you got freaking McDonald's. And it's got a 113 bearish shark, sell off, then a rally, and then a lower high. But it's really not just your lower high. They're just confirming. It's like an up thrust of old all-time highs. Okay, all-time high, October 2024, right? They up thrusted through the old all-time high, and then a big sell-off. And now what? You back tested the up thrust once, a lower low, and now twice. So you have that form of local confirmation on the type 2 return. I mean, it could pump, man, of course, but I'm just saying the odds are stacked against you. I mean, this is like bearish price action out the yin yang. Like, your argument though, right? Because we don't act like we know. The argument would become pretty much invalid, I think, breaking above 317 for given enough time. But if the longer you stay below 317, I think the greater the chance you're going to see a major markdown, which could turn into an 88% low to high. You could have like 618s, 786 is good, 261, 253, the 886. I mean, these are some good targets down here. McDonald's, dude. Yeah. Some really unfavorable price action if you want this thing going higher, because they're confirming no. We're confirming less than before, and we're confirming what was once resistance is resistance again. Not once, but then they put in the lower low, then twice. And that local high is actually a little bit lower than the first one. Wow. I mean, if that's not a good argument for downside, I don't know what is. Southern Company in this one. There's another one out, a couple others out there, but anyway, I'm just getting really hungry. So, stream's pretty dead. I don't know what to do, man. I just am doing the same thing I've been doing for effing over 7 years, okay? And the markets are just bad, and so that kind of is bad for viewership and engagement and whatever. I'm still going to continue trying to educate and instilling the right values as a market, to you as a market participant. Help you realize we don't have to know where an asset's going next to make money. And the only way to navigate these markets, I think, efficiently is to identify structures to increase our outcome probability. And at the same time, we're identifying the structures at key levels. And why? So we can optimize our risk management strategy. That's all we're doing here every day for years. And it's not going to change. So I don't know what people want me to do. Do you want me to go tap dance down Brickell Ave? Will more people sub to me then? I don't know. Like, because this is like really dry stuff, what we're teaching here. And I don't really feel like going degen and starting to promote what I do on TikTok to kids that don't even have money, that don't even care about their financial future. Let's do some YouTube shorts, dude, with stupid music. The Giga Chad music. I just don't care. I care about this. This is it, man. The technicals. So, yeah, appreciate each and every one of you coming out. Thanks for the likes, the support, everything in between. The hype will return at some point, and we'll be ready with optimum production value with these new gadgets. All tax write-offs, thankfully. It's beautiful. But all this is to say, like, to my patrons, most people in here, like, and people watch for free and stuff, but most people in here have tipped me at least once, right? A lot of people in here are patrons. Like, they've been paying for months, to support the team and me. And, these upgrades, increasing the quality of the stream, is all for y'all, okay? Because if it wasn't for y'all, hey, man, what are we going to do? So, think each and every one of you, if you've supported this channel one time, even if it's just a like button, thank you for that. And very grateful for the audience I do have. It's just, hey, man, I want to positively affect more people, who doesn't? Because the message here is a lot better than it would be for Badlands Chugs or, whatever content's out there, man. So, I'll just see y'all later. Love you. Till next time. Respect the T. A. You'll have to forgive me. I completely forgot about Fartcoin being an actual request. I thought it was a joke. Okay, here's your Fartcoin cup with handle. Well, where's the top of the cup, man? I don't know if we can call it cup with handle. I mean, it's really strong, of course, but the closer to 69 cents. I mean, that's an inflection point. 110 to 120, also inflection point. So I don't think so. I mean, clearly, like, momentum shifted. Look, man, it's just more about, you have to call it a structure. Look what happened. So buyers recaptured a key level on Fartcoin, and then they just formally re-regarded it as support, which is like bullish backtest. It's the stuff we were talking about on stream. So the swing high here, swing low, swing high. It flipped back to swing low, and oftentimes when you get bullish backtests like that, huge rallies. Dude, it is crazy. The acoustics change in here so much when I lift up all my roller shades. I have 26 windows in here. It is so echoey now compared to when I had them down. That's wild. So anyway, yeah, I mean, that's Batson. That's what's up, man. If they keep this going, I think you have a target of 110, 121. That's on deck. So great, dude. Fartcoin changing the world. Awesome. All right. Live in the chat for Fartcoin. Yeah, you got a crab at 115. Well, there you go. That just adds to the confluence of the resistances. Fake win bets and hope to chat.